Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. We have some breaking news from the Dallas Cowboys as reported by Patrick Walker of DallasCowboys.com. Micahel Gallup has officially been designated to be released by the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the news is fresh. I'm getting this video to you guys like essentially as soon as it was announced. So the details of the release have not come out, but it's presumably going to be designated as a post-June 1 release, which is going to save the Cowboys roughly about $9.5 million in salary cap space. So that'll give them some money to be able to make some of these signings they've been making, and they may be able to bring on a couple of more budget guys, all right, within reason. We already know how the Cowboys work, y'all. We are not going to ride that emotional roller coaster. We can expect some budget moves to be made, but at least they will now have some salary cap room and able to fill these positions with viable NFL players. Here's the thing. I know people fall in love with the big name guys that hit the market. People fall in love with other teams' best players that just happen to be free agents due to a salary cap casualty situation. But guys, beyond the guys that the names that you actually know, you do realize there's tons of players that are still looking for jobs, even right now as we speak, that are very good NFL players still. For instance, someone like an Eric Kendricks that a lot of you guys poo-pooed that signing, he was still graded out as being one of the better linebackers all season long as it pertains to stopping the run and in coverage. So just pump your brakes a little bit on your propensity to want to go after the big fish. I think the sooner that people realize that Stephen Jones is more of an upland hunter than he is a big game hunter, which essentially an upland hunter is the guy that's hunting the small birds and the quails and stuff like that, right? If Stephen's not going out there trying to take down the lions and the rhinoceroses, guys, he's not, all right? So we're not ever, as long as you're a Cowboys fan, you have to wrap your mind around the idea that we're never going to be an organization that you can expect to be in the running for major free agents, unless it's just this once in a lifetime generational player and it just matches perfectly with the Cowboys salary cap situation. I don't think you'll ever see them actually be a major player in these types of situations. So to save yourself some hypertension, to save yourself some stress, and to get yourself off of the emotional roller coaster, guys, I know Six Flags is fun, but get yourself off Texas Giant for a second and just collect yourself and just understand, as long as you're a fan of this team, you have to understand how your ownership works. And that's been my only point with some of my recent videos. Even I had a strong reaction to how they were so silent during the first day of free agency, but after sitting back and actually looking at things and how they unfolded and seeing how some of these guys, Joe Mixon and some of these other guys, got overpaid like crazy, I can understand exactly what Stephen Jones was saying. Not necessarily that I agree. I do want them to be a little bit more aggressive, because I think that if we've been trying the same thing for years and years and years and hasn't been working, then it's okay to try something else every now and then, Stephen. Like, goodness gracious. But I do see the value in the approach that they're taking. And let's be real, y'all. The Cowboys have a very, very good roster. Every year, year in and year out, they have one of the top talented rosters. They just happen to be very deficient at the most important places when it comes to winning an NFL game. And them not being able to stop the run has been an issue for literally years. These issues with the Cowboys that we're seeing are the same issues that have plagued us for years and years. And I think that as Cowboys fans, to just save your own psyche, understand this is how they're going to operate. If I'm going to be a fan, I have to be okay with it. I need to expect it. Not necessarily have to be okay with it, but I need to expect it so it doesn't piss me off so much. But either way, they're cutting Micahel Gallup, but we also have another part of this news release, because another player, another Pro Bowler, is on the way out of Dallas. And the way this one was termed is actually very interesting. The Cowboys and Leighton Vander Esch are going to be parting ways following the 2023 season, again as reported by Patrick Walkers of DallasCowboys.com. His existing deal was set to hit the Cowboys salary cap for a total of $4.4 million, and they'll recover $2.2 million of it towards cap savings, while the remaining $2.2 million will be dead. So the Cowboys get another $2 million in salary cap. Not a lot, but it is enough to sign another guy, another veteran guy that may be hungry, or another younger guy that maybe didn't get a fair shot at his last team and is trying to prove himself. That's still enough to bring in one of those type of guys on a 1 or 2 year type of deal for $4 or $5 million, and you have yourself another decent quality player. And there's one thing that I do trust in as far as the Cowboys front office, that's Will McClay. He's been excellent as it pertains to scouting these lesser known players and having dudes like that be impact players on our teams. The Jake Fergusons of the world, the Marquise Bells, even though he fell off towards the end of the season, he played well above his head, and I don't think anybody actually expected him to be able to perform the way that he did, playing out of position for most of the season. He wasn't a great linebacker, but as a player, he has something to him. Deron Bland, all these guys that they found, I do have trust in the fact that they can bring guys in to kind of revitalize their career. Dante Fowler is another example of that. Another guy that came to the Cowboys on a cheap deal, benefited from it, and now he got paid going somewhere else. Look for those type of guys to be the guys that come to the Cowboys via free agency. The guys that they draft personally are going to be the guys they lock up long term. That's been the trend with the Cowboys. I'm trying to make sure that we're all on the same page here, right? But LVE will be getting released, and what's interesting is he didn't just flat out retire. I expected him to flat out retire, but the fact that he didn't retire lets me know that the Cowboys released him for one. They stated because he failed a physical. That was a stated reason. He failed the physical, right? But the fact that he's not retiring lets me know that the Cowboys don't have the same amount of faith in him that he might have in himself necessarily, because he may be trying to gear up for another comeback. But to be quite honest, it's a liability at this point. My man has had 3 cervical neck injuries in some sort of fashion in 2016, in 2019, and in 2023. Essentially every 3 to 4 years, he's having a cervical neck injury. And I'm sorry, Leighton, 3 strikes and you're out. For your best interest, and I think for your best interest and for all the fans watching, I don't think anybody wants to see anything crazy happen to you on the field. I think it's just best you go ahead and hang up the cleats, bro. But either way, 2 major moves made by the Cowboys today, clearing up roughly about $11 to $12 million in salary cap space. Let me know what you think about this stuff down in the comments below, and give me your predictions. Give me your predictions. I'm sure this is going to be interesting. I'm sure if you're watching this video a couple hours after release, y'all will find some funny comments. Give me your predictions down in the comments below on who you think they're going to spend that salary cap space on. We still them same old Cowboys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it away, Pat.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.